All right, so let me tell you. So I go home. I'm dog-tired. You've been following the story of my day.
Yes.
I was just trying to paint a picture of, like, I was really wasted, okay? And I'm sitting there, and then Laura, my executive assistant, or whatever you want to call Laura, she comes in and says, hey, we got to go over a couple of things. And we're going over it, and she said, oh, by the way, look at this list that Ralph wants to give the studio to stock your trailer with.
This was the shampoos and stuff?
Yeah. What? Yeah. So, anyway, I start looking at it because I'm so tired at this point, I don't even care. And I start to look at it, and it's a little weird because a lot of the products I don't even use, and it was a bit excessive. And, you know, one of the things I feel is that a lot of these so-called celebrities, you know, they get in a situation where people want to do for them, and they take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's like whatever they ever dreamed of wanting, but they wouldn't buy for themselves.
Yeah.
They decide to get the studio to get it for them.
I mean, some of the stuff was realistic that Ralph had on there, but some of it I don't even use, and some of it, okay, I know he wants to try out on me and stuff, but, you know, just get a bottle or two of shampoo. Don't get 18 bottles of shampoo, 18 bottles of conditioner, you know, 19 of this, and, you know, a toothpaste he's ordering that I don't even use. You know what I mean? He doesn't even bother to find out what I like. You know, I understand the shampoo, easy control the hair and everything. But I'm looking through this. I said, look, this is just, I cannot hand this in. And I'm looking down the list, and all of a sudden on the list, I see condoms as one of the things that my trailer should be stocked with. Now, wait, now, hold on a second. Wait, the story gets worse. So I look at...
But you're misreading, aren't you?
Hold it a second. Don't come in yet. I'm going to tell you when to come in, Ralph. You're not to come in yet. What did I do?
What did I do?
What did I do? Oh, I'll tell you what you did, pal. You fixed me.
Oh, boy.
So, I'm sitting there and I said to Laura, oh, my God, what's wrong with this guy? I'm a married man. I have not requested condoms. And to go, first of all, you're doing a movie. I don't think any movie studio should have to buy anyone. I don't care if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't think they should have to buy your condoms. If it's condoms that you use, why...
Get yourself from your salary.
Yeah, exactly. Now, also, I just said to Laura, this is ridiculous. I don't want to ask this studio...
going over Ralph's list.
I mean, first of all, this list is coming from me. No one knows it's Ralph's list. They think it's coming from me, and now I'm saying, hey, buy me my condoms. I mean, boy, if that isn't going to be a story circulating...
Yeah, like, what is he asking for condoms
for? Now, wait a second. It gets worse. Laura says to me, your wife walked in to my office, and I hadn't even looked at the list. She picked up the list to see what was on it. She saw condoms, and I think she's upset. I said, first of all, I don't use condoms with her. We never use condoms. I pull out. I'm a married man.
Explaining this to your sister.
Yeah, I was beside myself. I don't normally talk like this. I said, Laura, you're kidding me. I haven't even seen Allison since I got home. Now I'm completely stressed out. My voice was shot. I had no voice yesterday. I'm like, oh, my God, oh, my God.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking, you haven't seen Allison. You've been going through the house, you've seen the kids, you've seen Laura. You haven't seen Allison.
I haven't seen Allison. She's upstairs. And I'm like, oh, my God, oh, my God. I mean, for the first time, I'm like, this is a bad movie I'm caught up in. This is like one of those things, if you read it in a movie, you'd say, there's no way it happened.
Totally unbelievable.
Yeah. No time for music here, Fred.
So totally unbelievable unless you have Ralph in your life.
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. And I said, Laura, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill this guy. This guy's wrecking my life. I let him into my house by accident. I thought he was normal. I'm the only one who doesn't see it. The guy's out to wreck my life.
Well, what do you do now?
Well, the first thing I said to Laura is, has anyone from the movie studio seen this list? She goes, no, I wouldn't send it over until you okayed it. I said, oh, my God. I said, you know what? Thank God, but I can't believe my wife saw it. She said, listen. I had it on my desk. I didn't even know. Your wife just walks in. My wife is real nosy. She just reads whatever on the... She walks into Laura's office and feels it's like her stuff to read.
It's her house.
Yeah, it's her house. That's what sucks about having my office in my house. But that's the only way I can work. I said, what did she do? She says, I don't know. She just kind of like looked really bad and then just like walked out.
She probably didn't get past that on the list.
I'm like, oh, my God. I don't believe this guy. What a piece of garbage he is. He's just a piece of garbage.
What would be his rationale?
Now he can walk in.
What would be his rationale for putting it on there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking. What are you doing to me, douchebag? Wait, here's your music, douchebag.
I don't think we need music. We don't. His big ugly nose is something scary. The side of his face has a hideous berry. His teeth are even worse than Gary's. Howard's girlfriend, Ralph. Everyone knows that Ralph is best at shooting the hairs off of Howard's chest. But other than that, he's a worthless pest. Howard's girlfriend, Ralph.
Sometimes he can be, like, really helpful and stuff, and I really, I trust this guy. Let him in my house. Just total betrayal, dude. Don't you think before you write something down on a piece of paper? My wife, it's circulating in my house?
I did. I just thought it...
Condoms?
I thought it was funny. I was just writing it as a joke.
Oh, it was a joke.
Obviously, it was a joke.
I asked wife, why would they think that's a joke?
I wasn't giving it to them. I was giving it to Laura.
Dude, a woman walks down...
I was giving it to Laura.
What, you think Laura's going to get the joke? What is she going to think of me? What is the movie studio going to think about me? You see, that's why everyone's turned off to you. I sent them over to the movie studio for one meeting with these people. All I know is they're not talking to me now about him. I don't know what he does. People are turned off by you.
I don't know what I do.
What's your job? Comedy writer? He was over my house. He was getting my clothes ready for the week. And the guy's writing condoms. He weren't making it as a joke.
I absolutely... Why
I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're thinking.
You don't use condoms.
Half the stuff that you're writing on there I don't use. So I have to think you're just stocking the trailer for yourself.
No.
I don't know what you're thinking, man. I got a wife and kids. You almost wrecked my life. You don't even know.
Did you
so I go upstairs. I go upstairs and I say to Allison, listen, I said, I got to say something to you here. Now I'm guilty without... I said, I don't believe it. I don't even get laid, and now I'm guilty of something. I walk upstairs and I go, I heard you saw this list on Laura's list. I said, I don't even know where this list came from. I asked Ralph. I had Laura call Ralph to ask what kind of shampoo should I use. No, that's the only question I wanted answered.
That wasn't the only question.
So Allison goes, I walked in, I turn over this list to see if there's anything I can add to it because I know what you use. And I see condoms. I go, Allison, I don't know if you're going to believe me. We've had 20 years together. I don't know what this guy's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
That is amazing.
I said...
I thought you were kidding when you said your life was ruined.
Oh, he wrecked my life yesterday. Now I'm beat, and now all night, my wife's looking at me strange. And I said, listen, Allison, I just want you to know something. I swear to you, I don't know where Ralph's getting this idea. I don't cheat on you. I don't want condoms in my trailer. I'm totally and thoroughly embarrassed. And she goes, embarrassed? She goes, you're having a movie studio buy your condoms?
Oh.
I go, I know. This moron. And you know what? He didn't do it as a joke because Laura... First of all, what, are you playing a practical joke on me, the guy who pays you? What, are you insane?
No, I wasn't.
I'm about the only one who believes in you at this point.
I wasn't playing a practical joke on anybody. I thought.
So what was the joke?
I thought you would read the
How would I read it? I don't sit and read everything. I trust you to give her a list that's accurate.
No.
It's only Laura's smarts that saved my ass.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Happen to the
you want to listen to me for a second?
Thanks for putting the word condoms where my wife's going to read it.
Can I explain
myself? And where Laura, a woman who works with me, is going to read it.
Can I explain myself?
There's no explanation, Ralph. How can you explain yourself? Why don't I go over when you ever get in a relationship with a girl? All right, and get KY jelly.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
I gave Laura that list and told you to give it to you and look it over because I couldn't get you because you were so busy
maybe it can be found on my desk where my wife will see it.
I thought you would get a chuckle out of it. I just thought it was. I was just writing.
Yeah, well, don't make jokes, dude. It's not funny, man. When a guy's married, man, he's in a relationship.
Were there any other jokes on the list or just the condom?
No, that was it.
My whole relationship with you was a joke. Who was the target audience for your joke, man? My wife? Well, it worked.
No,
so then I'm like sitting there and I go, now I'm in the process of trying to convince my wife
that you don't do anything.
That I don't really want condoms.
Oh,
I said, you don't understand something. I don't even want condoms.
You had no request for condoms.
I have no request. I don't know what this moron is doing. She goes, I couldn't believe it. I said, the only thing that she said kind of, after this all went on, she goes, the only thing that kind of saved it was, it's not even the toothpaste you use. It's none of the products you use. I figured maybe it was a list for Ralph.
I said to Laura, I said, listen, this is a list of some other things that he might want to use. Because she asked me what kind of toothpaste does he use, what kind of deodorant does he use. I said,
so I don't know.
I said, but these are good ones. See if he wants to use these.
Dude, you really wrecked me on the condom.
And certainly on a list like that, you'd see the joke.
Yeah, of course.
The joke would just stand out.
Yeah, the condom joke really worked, man. You did me a great favor last night. You totally screwed me.
I'm sorry, man.
Totally. Damn.
I think I did that on purpose. I mean, I didn't.
I don't know what you do. I just don't think you think.
I did. I thought about it, and I thought it was funny, and I think, you know what? I should rewrite it.
Yeah, well, you wrecked me,
maybe
man.
It's not.
You wrecked me, man. I'm in a marriage. I got kids. What are you doing?
I know you don't use condoms or anything like that, and to me it was like so obvious.
No, but in a woman's eyes, man,
joke.
it's like, oh,
an obvious joke to who? His assistant wouldn't know he doesn't use condoms. She's not in bed with him.
Here's my wife.
Well, why would he use condoms?
Honey?
Why would he need condoms in the movie?
Honey?
Oh,
why? Because in a woman's eyes, she's sitting there going, why does he need condoms in the movie trailer, you jackass?
I was in shock.
She was practically crying.
No. I was in shock, and then I realized that the entire list had not one product that you used.
I know. So, that was my only saving grace. So Allison kind of said, yeah, okay, I buy it.
I said, oh, this must be what Ralph wants.
Imagine if it had all the products that I actually used.
Right, if he had actually been accurate.
Well, then...
Well, I just went right upstairs, and I just said, Allison, this is outrageous.
Allison, I'm sorry.
I couldn't believe. Ralph, you wrote your toothpaste, your deodorant...
And your condom.
I don't know. I don't use condoms. I made suggestions.
Yeah, that's smart.
Suggestions?
That's what I said to Laura.
You didn't even find out what toothpaste and deodorant he used. Tom's toothpaste.
Instead of making jokes, find out what I use.
Tom's of Maine is good.
What is Tom's?
That's not what happened.
I don't use Tom's of Maine toothpaste.
I thought it's good. It's no sweeteners, and I thought.
But I don't use that. Allison buys my toothpaste, right, honey?
Maybe you should try it.
And then he's got soaps that we never heard of, and Arm & Hammer deodorant.
Yeah, who uses that?
So I go,
Arm & Hammer is baking soda.
It's a good deodorant.
I use regular man's deodorant.
Yeah, but
I don't use feminine deodorant.
Allison, you know as well as I do.
Whose list was it, Ralph? Yours?
Please.
Of course. He doesn't care what I use.
As far as everything
I don't care about any of that stuff. I don't mind him making suggestions. I don't care about any of it. The condoms thing, I'm now dealing with it at 7 o'clock at night. My wife and Laura and everybody, and everyone's suspicious.
It was so embarrassing. It was embarrassing for me. I was like, oh, my God.
She was embarrassed in front of Laura.
Of course. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not like Ralph was just handing this to you.
No.
It was going through people. How did he expect this to be a joke to you?
I'm the last
when
one.
all these people are going to read it.
I'm the last one to see it.
Yeah.
I thought she was going to hand it right. I handed it to Laura.
So what if she reads? You don't think people read this stuff?
Yeah, but...
You don't think Laura's going to read it?
I'm sorry. It was a bad joke. And
I don't even know if Laura would have read it.
Allison, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. I didn't mean to upset Howard. I was just writing
What I'm saying about Ralph is...
He's a douchebag.
I'm not a douchebag. I made a joke.
Business
it wasn't funny.
relationship he has with Howard as well as a personal one.
You know what?
And he's got to keep the business separate.
What confuses Ralph is that I've been a friend to him.
Yeah.
And this is what my agent always says. You've been a friend to this guy, which is great. You want to have a friend, that's fine. But the guy gets all confused, and he starts like this morning. I had to tell Gary something to do for the show. Right away, Ralph starts chiming in. Yeah, I agree with that, Howard, because and it's like no one wants to hear Ralph's opinion when they're when they're talking to their boss.
Yeah. I make suggestions,
dude. It wasn't appropriate. You don't know that's fine. Do it to when I'm talking to Gary about something. Don't start. It's obnoxious when you chime in.
Because you were both
there. You have the list, Howard.
Yeah, I brought the list in with me.
The list was so inappropriate. It was, that was one.
Yeah, and Ralph wants me have the movie studio buying me like ridiculous stuff. I don't want to be seen that way by these guys. What did I do with the goddamn list? I put it in my bag. I got so many. I was so pissed off at you last night, man.
I was in shock.
Oh, here it is.
To say.
And that annoying handwriting of Ralph's. Yeah, here it is. Howard's grooming products. Looks like a real joke list.
Right.
There's nothing joking about it.
All by Kiehl's, except last one. That's the condoms, I think.
Right.
No.
It's not.
That's the shampoo.
That's why she got Kiehl's condoms.
I don't think they make condoms.
Castile shampoo, Pantherol protein hair conditioner, high gloss condition and styling oil, lecithin and coconut enriched hair mask, shine and light groom, cream with silk groom, leave-in hair conditioner, clothes shavers shave cream, cucumber. I don't even use clothes shavers shave cream.
Yeah, you use something else.
I keep telling them I use Clinique. Cucumber herbal alcohol-free toner. Soothing, nourishing face cream for men. All feminine products. Herbal toner.
What, are you going to be doing facials on him?
Yeah, I don't know what he planned. I just asked the guy, what kind of shampoo do I use?
But those are a lot of products that I use on your hair.
Kerosene conditioner by Goldwell.
On your hair.
Other recommended products. Now, here's page 2.
This is the page.
Tom's of Maine toothpaste. This is the one that did me in. Arm & Hammer antiperspirant. So at least my wife looked at it and said, well, maybe this is Ralph's list.
Yeah, he's got 2 separate lists here.
I said I can't.
And then, but when she said, Laura, is this for Howard? She goes, yeah. And I was like, oh. Cool Mint Listerine. Q-tips, lip balm, condoms, Glide dental floss, Oral-B toothbrushes.
Now, what product that he used?
You use Oral-B
so I'm sitting there and I'm looking
Q-tips. And I'm say that, Allison.
So I'm looking at it and I'm like, I go, I guess Ralph just wants me to try that. Okay, it's a little obnoxious, this list, but what? Oh my God. I'm like this. I'm holding my head in my hands. I'm like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God. I said, Laura, what if it's a condoms thing? Did this go to the movie studio? And then when she said no, I went, whew. She goes, but Allison saw it. I'm like, what? Oh my God, that's the worst news I ever got. I said, well, what do you mean she saw it? I don't know how it happened. She walked in. It was on my desk. Usually I keep things turned over so they're confidential.
No, it was in my area.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I was just like, oh my God. I don't even mind that the movie studio sees it as much as my wife.
Right. You'd rather they see it.
I wish you would, why not just put lipstick on my collar, Ralph, and then so we can really have a good time.
Perfume.
I handed it to Laura. I said, Laura, you asked me about a lot of other things I'm not sure. Have Howard look this over.
Oh, great.
See, I was going to go over it with you, but I couldn't get to you.
Yeah, I see. And busy. Yeah, okay, great.
This was some joke.
I was going to hand it to you.
And that's why, Ralph, you shouldn't be playing around. He is very busy. He doesn't have time for your jokes.
Yeah.
All right, so
Ralph, you know what it is? Ralph has all day.
Yeah.
He waits for me to call him.
Why wasn't Tom's of Maine a joke?
Yeah, I think it is.
Because that wasn't part of my bit.
Thanks. He was working on some other material.
You do what you do.
You're lucky, my wife. Imagine if I was like Nancy Sirianni.
Reactionary person.
Can you imagine if Nancy Sirianni was my wife? That would have been it. I would have my penis cut off my sleeve.
You wouldn't have had time to explain. You'd be dead.
I'd be dead. She would have left. She would have packed up, taken the kids, and taken half my money with her.
Your house would have been empty and your bank account cleaned out.
She would have killed you first.
She would have killed me first?
I think Sirianni is a murderer.
Yeah.
She's the murderer.
I mean, it's just unfriggin' believable how bad my night was. I'm telling you, hey, you're on the air.
King.
Yeah.
King, you got to fire this guy.
I know. I mean, you're backing me up against the wall, douchebag.
I'm not backing you up against the wall. I made a bad joke.
How many more times should you intervene in his marriage in a negative way before he does fire you?
You know what I realized? I think I got to change our relationship. I think I got to be all business with you, man. I like being friends with you. We had a lot of fun, but you know what? I can't have you over to the house just to hang out and stuff. I just got to keep it real professional. And when you come to the house, Laura will deal with you.
No, it means you have to check every little thing he does now. You can't even trust him anymore.
I know. What else is he doing? What other practical jokes can I wait for?
Is there times he's off paper and on his own?
This was a list.
I don't know.
Howard, this wasn't going to Allison. It wasn't going to the movie studio.
And you know what else I don't like?
Anybody but Laura.
How do you know where it's going?
Because I told Laura what to do with it. I said, don't give it to anybody. I said, hand it to Howard.
Anything, Ralph.
Yes, I do, Robin. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. You weren't there. You weren't part of it.
She knows everything. Allison saw it, Ralph.
All right, but I didn't give it to Allison.
She lives in my house. She just so happens to be there.
All right, but I handed it to Laura.
Would have been funny if I was a bachelor.
I said, it wouldn't have been funny because that would have been accurate. It wouldn't have been a joke.
Oh, I see.
I was making a joke. You don't use...
And Ralph, you're not Laura's boss. You don't tell her what to do.
And how normal to have a movie studio do those things.
Yeah.
And buy Q-tips.
Yeah, you know what? Dude, this is my first film.
Laura asked me... Listen.
That would have been great when Ivan Reitman heard I'm demanding condoms for my trailer.
Everybody be waiting to see what you do.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Laura asked me for all this stuff, not just shampoo and conditioner, okay?
For condoms. For birth control.
No. I don't know what you use for birth control.
Hey, you're on the air with us.
Hey, Howard, when would you fire that jerk, man?
You know, I like the guy, too. That's what kills me. I'm the only one who,
You're not the only one that likes me.
Name another person on the show that likes you.
I don't know. Yeah, but you got separate business from, pleasure.
She won't admit it, though.
I know.
Just to be your best friend. He's an ass kisser, you know?
Yeah.
A brown nose.
No douchebag. I'm not an ass kisser or a brown nose. Why am I an ass kisser, idiot?
You're an ass kisser.
Why am I an ass kisser, idiot? Tell me why. Give me an example. Tell me why.
Howard, yes. Yes, sir. You know?
What does that have to do with what? Give me an example. Howard, yes, what?
Whatever.
He asked me to do something.
You know what? I don't want to turn this into a bit. You know what? I don't want to turn this into a bit because it's not for me. Sure. I had a real bad night from this. And I'm not sure my wife still believes me.
I don't think you probably could go to sleep when you wanted to with this going on.
Man.
No, I believe you, and I love Ralph, and I was in shock. I was absolutely in shock.
Allison, I'm really sorry.
And you know what else? He runs through my house. I let my kids talk to him. Who knows what inappropriate stuff he's saying to them?
Hey, you might be telling them jokes.
Yeah, do me a favor. Stay away from my kids. Just do your work and get out. Yeah, well, the kids are going to be instructed to stay away from Ralph because he's dangerous in my house. I mean, I let the dude in my house and he's making jokes. Some funny joke.
Yeah, while he's playing Candyland, you don't know what he's doing.
You don't know.
Yeah, dick boy.
He'll play Candyland. I don't know how.
All right, I'm going.
Allison, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you.
Well, Ralph, you got to think before you do anything.
I did think. I did.
Yeah, I had to sit there and explain to my wife instead of talking to her.
I gave it a second thought, and I was,
Oh, your thought processes are bad of
You know, my wife's insecure enough with me being the playboy, being one of the world's most famous men, and I could have any woman on the planet.
I'm so insecure.
Yeah.
She knows you don't cheat or anything like that.
She doesn't know that.
To me, it was such an obvious joke. That's... You know what I mean? There was no question.
You know what you're like? You're like one of the former employees who returns with a machete and chops up everybody in the room because it's just like, man, you might as well just do that to me. I mean, you suck.
I had no malicious
Only he's
intent.
killing you a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
At least the guy who blows you away with the shotgun is doing it once.
Before you write down condoms in my house, it's like, dude, don't you think my wife walks around the house? What do you think
how many people you upset, Ralph?
And plus, Laura works for me. She's a woman. She knows, she knows that I'm a family man.
She knows you don't cheat, and
one of the things she likes about me is I'm a family man.
Right, and she knows you don't cheat.
She's important to me too. She's more important to me than Allison.
Anybody who read that list to me would see it as a joke.
But
Fred is even upset.
You upset him so much, I can't even tell you.
I was out of my mind last night. I said, tell him what I said to you last night. I said I can't even think straight.
He didn't even know if he could keep you on the job.
I was like out of my mind. You could thank Allison for keeping your job.
Thank you, Allison.
But Ralph,
Allison talked me out of it. I said, I'm going to call him up and just fire the guy. I got to get rid of this guy.
He didn't know what to do.
He's a danger to me. Because what's he going to do next?
And,
and I take this guy everywhere, man. He meets all kinds of celebrities now. He gets better-looking girls because of me. I mean, dude.
I've always thought this about you. You love maniacs, but they are maniacal.
Yeah.
They're unpredictable.
That wasn't maniacal.
It was, Ralph.
Sure it is, man. Don't you see passive-aggressive behavior?
Crazy,
Robin,
Ralph.
if
You're one of the guys I trusted, and now it's like you even exhibit passive-aggressive behavior.
No, it's
like you walked in this morning, I'm looking at him, I go, okay,
that's my friend.
there's another jealous guy.
Yeah.
I'm not jealous.
Yeah.
Please.
How to ruin my marriage.
embarrass him.
I wasn't trying to. It was something.
So I look bad with the movie company.
Humiliated, embarrassed,
Howard, it was something.
Remember when my agent had a talk with you, and he said you got to present yourself a certain way.
Yeah.
Now remember that, and you you sat there and said he's being really rough on me and this and that and the other thing, but I'll try and be professional. This is a classic blunder. So finally, you had your first interaction with the movie studio.
No, I didn't. They didn't call me.
They called.
I wasn't.
Here you go again. Here you go again.
No, you're not even listening to me.
Here you have your first interaction with the movie studio.
I told Laura to hand this to you.
Here you have.
I told Laura to hand this to you.
Listen instead of talking. You're not getting it. Listen to me.
I'm listening. You're not getting it.
You're not getting it.
Sit down.
Here
you have, excuse me, just 1 minute. I got to make third voice, Robin.
Right.
No, and then please save that thought.
I know what I'm going to say.
Your first interaction, believe it or not, with the movie studio, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the one hiring you. You're the only reason you're getting in the door of the movie studio is because of me. I say to you, Ralph, help me out. Small favor. Tell me what kind of shampoo you want me to use or any other products. And right away, the first thing you got to do, instead of doing your job and acting professionally and just handing the list in, you're now making routines out of it. Do you understand?
Yes,
It's your first chance to be professional in your new job.
Yes, I understand.
Now, you say it's not directly for the movie studio. Now do you know why I don't have you dealing directly with the movie studio? Ralph called up Laura and said, this is ridiculous. I should be meeting with these people.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You said, I should be having...
I didn't say that.
I will get... Laura, call in.
Yeah, get her on the phone.
Gary, get me Laura.
It's like operator. When you get to the end of the story, it's twisted.
She says,
oh, my God.
She says this. She goes, Ralph called me up. He's all upset because he thinks, they should be calling him and he should be talking to them. He has to define his position in the movie. Imagine if I picked up the phone and said, hey, deal directly with Ralph on these things.
But not only that.
And he did his condom routine.
I wouldn't have done that.
Oh, sure.
I wouldn't have done that. Said, look, I don't have time for that. And this is really Ralph's function. He's supposed to lighten your load, not make it heavier.
All I know
you shouldn't have to check his work.
Right. Laura.
Yes.
Hi,
Let
Laura.
me just say one thing, Ralph. When you give me a list, I don't have time to look at it. I go in and I put it in Howard's inbox. I don't know that you're going to put something like that on that I have to turn it over or be confidential.
I didn't think you had to be confidential or anything.
Oh, so Allison can see it. You wrote it for Allison.
Why didn't they tag it up on the bulletin board in the kitchen then?
Didn't he call up and say he wants to deal directly with the movie studio?
He said he had to define his role.
Right. Define his role.
Yeah, he's the gag man.
He goes, why aren't they calling me about Howard's shampoo? Because I want Laura, professional, dealing with
that. That had nothing to do with that.
I can't have you, a loose cannon, running around with my movie studio.
He's in charge of life-ending practical jokes.
I'm not a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Well, the question first came to me, what are his products? So...
Well, I knew you wouldn't address it, honey, because you know less than Ralph about what I use. Allison hasn't shopped for me in years. That's why I can't dump Ralph.
When I saw Allison look at that paper, I didn't even think anything of it because it was
in my area.
It was in Howard's inbox, but still, it was like...
Can we separate my inbox from Allison's inbox?
Well, they are.
Yeah, good.
But he had a list of shampoos, so I never even thought of anything.
Right.
But you weren't supposed to think...
I know, but when I saw her mouth
Laura, when I handed you that
Ralph,
list...
you're batting 000 here.
Laura, when I handed you a list, did I not say, here, show this to Howard,
and
tell him to look at it...
Yeah, but you don't think Laura's going to see it?
Why didn't you put it in an envelope if it was for Howard's eyes only?
But it's a list of shampoos.
It wasn't...
That's all it was supposed to be.
Right.
He doesn't see it.
I gave time to put
you know what's amazing about you? And this is what you did in the car that day with my agent. You fight back. You will not give it. You won't listen to what people are saying.
I'm listening, but I'm also defending.
You're a screw up.
I admit it. I shouldn't have done that.
I don't even know why I'm arguing with him. He's 100% wrong.
Yeah, how could he defend himself?
There's no defense, dude.
There's an explanation. And
we heard the explanation. It was a joke.
An explanation.
It was a joke, and I thought only you were going to see it.
So you left it on 2 sheets of paper in Laura's office.
And I handed it to Laura. No, not 2. 1 sheet of paper.
2.
I said,
then you're lying about how many sheets of paper.
No, I'm not lying.
2 sheets of paper.
Yeah, but that. Here, look. The one with the second list was the one I
2 sheets.
Listen,
stupid.
That second one, I said, give this to Howard. I said, this is a bunch. He wanted other stuff. I said,
thank
look
you.
it over.
All right, you're done now. Now you can leave. Now you can leave. Now you can leave.
I don't want to leave.
Get out. Get out, please. I'm ready to explode from you. I got to get on with my show. I have lots of.
So, in other words, Ralph, you're saying that Howard will have to check everything you do.
Right. Yeah.
You can't be trusted.
No, I gave him something to look over.
Hey, Laura, from now on,
I thought you would laugh.
Let's not get anything in paper from Ralph. Also.
All right.
I thought you...
And when Ralph comes over to do stuff at my house, you deal with him, and you just have to check on him every couple of minutes.
I was going to say, follow him.
Why don't you send Ganja with him? He can follow him with the camera.
Yeah. Well, we don't want that.
Maybe you'll have to have your entire place wired with video, just so you know what Ralph is doing all the time.
God, the practical joker.
Yeah.
So funny.
Mr. Gag Writer over there.
Hey,
well, it was a big laugh.
You ruined my life last night, man. It was a great surprise you gave me. God damn. Honey Bunny.
I obviously didn't think it turned into a big deal.
I'm talking to Fred. Honey Bunny. Now, sweetheart, I don't want condoms in my trailer. You know that. I don't. I know that in the back of your mind you're saying, hey, maybe he really did and all that kind of stuff.
And this is a nice ruse.
And this is a ruse and all this.
Covering for him.
I want you to know, I don't want any condoms in my trailer.
I know.
I only want you.
I know. I really know. That's why I was in shock. I couldn't believe it.
That's why, to me, it's an obvious joke.
Oh, yeah, well, Allison had a good laugh.
Yeah, she had a real great laugh, Ralph.
You should have seen how
it wasn't for Allison to read.
I was out of my mind.
He doesn't even understand how a home works where people live.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's
and dude, you know, my whole life is surrounded by beautiful women and stuff like Dean Martin. Except unlike Dean Martin, I'm being faithful.
And I know that. I think everybody knows that.
Yeah, but you know, in a woman's mind, I don't care. Even that I've been in a 20-year relationship, she's going, hey, wait a second. Maybe this guy really on the side every once in a while uses a condom with somebody. And I thought, and you know, I mean, in the best relationship.
What are you supposed to think when you see the list of condoms coming home to be bought by the studio?
And even in the best relationship, which I think I have I think I got a pretty good relationship with my wife. She's only, you know, there's got to be some question. Every person questions the other person in their marriage.
Well, nobody wants to be the dolt who was the last one to know.
Right.
Howard, let me just say, I thought that you were going to...
I thought I asked you to leave.
You were going to take this list and you were going to look at it.
Okay, we heard that. Thank you.
You were going to look at it.
Don't do it. Do me a favor. Even if I'm the only one to look at it, just be straight.
You know, Howard, it shows you how insensitive he is. That you have so much time to sit and read his list.
Yeah. Well, that's what he wants from me.
I needed him to read it over.
He wants my full attention.
You know what? Ralph misses you. That was his.
You know what would be great? If Ralph could make lists and I wouldn't even have to check them.
That's right.
That would be one less thing.
But this is my point. That he's not supposed to make you do more work. He's supposed to lighten your workload.
Right.
I do things like that all the time, Howard. This was one thing.
Who knows, Ralph? That's why I can't. By the way, that's why you don't have contact with the movie studio. They only want to deal with Laura. Okay. They met you. They understand. They sized you up in 2 seconds.
See, they're smart.
Even if you do joke sometimes, pick your times. Look at how busy he is.
Don't, Robin.
Thank you, Ralph.
All right, goodbye.
All right, bye, Laura. Bye, Allison.
Bye-bye.
All right. I'm sorry, man.
I didn't think it would turn into...
All right, your theme music is coming on. It's time for you to leave.
His big ugly nose is something scary. The side of his face has a hideous berry. Teeth are even worse than Gary's. Howard's girlfriend, Ralph. Everyone knows that Ralph is best at shaving the hairs off of Howard's chest. But other than that, he's a worthless pest. Howard's girlfriend, Ralph.
Who's the guy who did that? He's a genius. I want him hired. I tell you.
You know what?
What?
You might have actually got to him. You know how you know? Because he didn't stay for his team song.
Yeah, well, I tell you something, boy. No bit. And
That's a major blunder.
I almost want to just yell at him off the air, which I'll do as well.
I was wondering how you managed to get through this morning without mentioning that.
Oh, I was out of my mind when he walked in. I'm like going, oh, that bastard. He screwed me.
Yeah.
He got me good. That's what happens when you trust people. That's why Richard Dreyfuss resorted to drugs and drinking when he got famous. Couldn't trust anybody. Imagine I become an alcoholic now.
Because of Ralph and his condom list.
Yeah.
This was the day.
Yeah. Drove me over the top. I'm now loaded. I come into work loaded. Sloppy drunk. All right, let's take a break. That went on... that went on... Could have gone on longer, actually.
I was actually going to say, it went on not way too long. It didn't go on long enough.
That's right. Could have gone on for 4 hours, actually. All right, we'll take a break, and then we'll be back right after this.